every position I got a diamond at.
But if I'm not getting a Mushu, you ain't getting a Jeremy.
What?
I feel like a young Nolan.
Write to us. We're very friendly. Much love. Why you here, man?
You did me dirty.
And welcome to another episode of Going Deep with Matthew and Jeremy. This episode is episode number 53. Jer, how you doing
53,
today?
man.
53, man.
Phenomenal, Maddie. Phenomenal.
That's right.
Phenomenal. Make sure you get your phenomenal gear at goingdeepwithmatthewandjeremy.com.
It's phenomenal.
Hitting that part a little early. Doing good, man. We're here Monday. A lot of stuff happened this weekend. We got to dive into it, but after our random question of the day.
Thank you. I'm glad you were able to stop me before I just started going, because I'm just so excited to get onto what we need to get to. So a couple of our random questions of the day have been random. Some have been more of a random discussion. Obviously last episode we talked about, are there too many goats?
We got a lot of feedback on that online, by the way, on Twitter.
Yeah, which is great. I think it's a great open question. It's definitely one that makes people think, right?
I think so too. I think from what I saw,
yes,
a lot of people kind of agreed with the fact that there are too many goats and not enough great of your eras.
That's a good one.
Which is, I think, where we ended up.
Your era. Make a new one that you, instead of goat, we should come up with another animal that makes it.
GOY.
Great white shark. No, sorry.
Goya? No, no.
That's food.
What was it? Great eras of Goy. You're the Goy.
We'll come up with something. Don't worry. But basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that random question of the day today is going to be kind of it will kind of go hand in hand with what we're going to be talking in our later half of the show, which will actually take up most of our show because, like we said, there's a lot of information, a lot of news coming in the baseball world, but it has to do something with baseball. For those of you guys who are super into the baseball world, watch MLB Network or know all that stuff, I'm sure you know that too. They've been doing this thing, I think, for the past 5 years where they rank the top...
The Shredder.
The Shredder, thank you. Which is,
it was on our Instagram.
Which is, so the top 10, now you mentioned, like, which shortstop, did you want?
Yeah, we talked about shortstops. We did a little bit of that. We put out a catcher, and we put out... We may have put out a third baseman. I'm not positive.
I don't think you did. Shortstop. Nope. I remember the shortstop for sure.
Shortstop, we talked about it.
I remember having some discussion with people online. But what I'm telling you is MLB Network has been doing the show. It's called Top 10 right now. They rank them based off what they did the previous year. They also actually take into account what you've done overall, and slightly they take what they think you'll do, which I don't think they should do that. But basically, what they do is they put into this machine called the Shredder, not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder, but this Shredder, which is just all analytics. It all bases off that, no personal opinion, nothing like that. So obviously, the Shredder has come up with some not questionable. I guess.
No, they're questionable.
They're questionable. The players are not bad, but they're just like, is that guy a top 10?
The thing to me is with the Shredder, sometimes it gets too number driven.
Yeah, too number
rather
driven.
Than
I agree. I agree. So for example, I believe the top what position am I thinking of? Oh my gosh. Right when I need it. The first baseman, number 1 was Freddie Freeman, obviously, right? I do believe, though, the second place, most people believe it should have been Jose Abreu. He won the...
He wasn't on there.
He was third.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Jose Abreu was third.
Paul Goldschmidt wasn't on it.
Yeah, no, but remember we said Paul Goldschmidt was on it. When he was before Jose Abreu. You're kind of like, oh.
He was?
Yeah.
This past year?
He was second.
Oh, I saw something where people were losing their minds about it.
Well, I was still kind of be like, well, Paul Goldschmidt's good. He's kind of on his way down, but the MVP is the best.
He should have been number 1, right? Yeah.
That's how I see it.
If you go off of the past year.
Now, the reason why I bring this up is because they were doing one today, right? Actually, right before I left over to do the show, they were doing the top second baseman. And I can give you really quick. I'm not gonna. You won't go to each one and say, "Oh, you believe it? Is it true or not?" I just want to give you the list, and of course, you'll be like, there might be a couple names or one name that you're like, is he?
Why?
And you'll find out now. And that's my question of like, should they come up with a new shredder?
A new shredder. Okay.
A new position, a new shredder, or a new position worthy. Obviously, we have 9 positions in baseball, but maybe a 10th position, and I'll tell you what that is in a second. Now, second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, obviously number 1. I'm not going to keep you guys guessing. Number 2, a little surprise for me, Jeff McNeil. He was number 5 last year, number 2. Number 3 was Ketel Marte, was 1 the year before that. Brandon Lau, Kevin Biggio, Jake Cronenworth is 6th. Donovan Solano is 7th. I mean, that one, he had a really good shortened year, but not sure about that one. Number 8 is Chris Taylor of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 9, Jose Altuve. Number 10, Ozzie Albies. Now, the reason why I bring that up is Chris Taylor.
He's a left fielder at this point.
Left fielder, center fielder, right fielder. Technically, he played more. Actually, he played a lot more games at shortstop this year, which is kind of weird. They showed a little graph.
Did he play majority at shortstop?
He had more innings at shortstop than he was playing like everywhere. Is that kind of weird?
It's those days where like Seager DH'd a good amount because he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then he missed a couple days.
Basically, what I'm telling you is there's no position where he was one.
Yeah.
Second base, he was actually almost there at the least. At the end is when he kind of took over during the postseason.
Because Gavin Lux wasn't performing, and neither was Kike.
And neither was Kike, right? So I think Harold Reynolds, who's one of the analysts, says Chris Taylor barely played second base. How is he in the top 10 second baseman?
I agree.
And I agree too. But Chris Taylor did have he was 2.1 more. Technically, if you put him here, he's where he is. He's 8-7.
Okay, now I understand where we're going with this.
I'm going.
Okay.
Should
there be a utility spot?
Yes, the 10th spot, should that be called? Because there's a top 10 starting pitchers. There's also a top 10 relief pitchers.
Is there a top 10 closing?
No, not closer, because there's not enough.
So the relievers are just closers.
Relievers can go into the closer role or those hybrids. Okay. That one year we had Brandon Morrow. He probably would have made it. 2017, he was like awesome, right?
Yeah. Like so 2018, he would have been high on the shredder probably.
Exactly.
There should be a utility role because
that's how the sport is now.
Yeah, versatility is huge now, and that's a good question. I like this. So yes, there should be one. However, it may be difficult because not every team has a Swiss Army knife like the Dodgers.
Yeah, no. Also, a valid point. But I think almost every.
But yes, there should be because Ketel Marte, if I'm not mistaken, split time in center
and short
and second last year.
Yeah, even a little bit of short too.
So he played a little short.
Jake Cronenworth, example.
Jake Cronenworth was. They have him listed as a second baseman. You said right?
Yeah.
He played majority first base.
Yeah, he played until they got
until Hosmer started to get going.
Exactly, and then they got Mitch Moreland, so they kind of moved.
Yeah, so then you move him to second. I'm trying to think of who else has these kind of guys.
Everyone here. I'm just going to give you an example. Jeff McNeil, technically
left fielder,
played a little bit third base, played a little bit second.
First base.
Not one. DJ LeMahieu technically played a little bit of third.
He plays a little bit of everywhere. Yeah.
Brandon Lau
Lau is all second base.
I've all seen him second. Kevin Biggio also left field, third base.
Yeah, he moves around.
Jay Cronenworth, we talked about. Donovan Solano, more of a second short. Only a couple. Chris Taylor,
mainly plays
everywhere. Altuve is the only second baseman. Ozzie Albies also pretty much only
okay,
second base.
So my issue here with your thing, not the utility rule, but the list.
Yeah.
One, you can't have Chris Taylor there.
Yep.
Two, you're basing too much off of a shortened year for Donovan Solano.
Great. I like that.
And to me, Albie should be higher. I think he had injury issues, but he should be higher.
Nice.
You have too many guys that aren't full-time second basemen. And like I said, Cronenworth. Where's Colton Wong? He's supposed to be the best defensive second baseman, right?
True. He was rated last year, but since he didn't hit well this year, he's not there.
So it's interesting because Altuve should not be there if you go off of what they've done.
Yeah, but of course.
Or what they did, right?
Yeah.
But why is Solano there off of 1 year?
Exactly. That's why the Shredders.
Why isn't Wong there off of one
year, bad year? Yeah. No, I'm
did they do an outfield? Did they do a left field yet?
I'm not familiar, but
that's fine because the way they're going, I better not see Yelich on the list. I better not see Bellinger on the list.
Here, I got you.
Although Bellinger's defense helped.
They do. So left field was, again, I'll go really quick, 1 to 10. Yelich, Michael Brantley.
He just hit 200.
Yeah. Mark
Canha's third?
Yeah.
Third?
Yeah. Marcell Ozuna, who basically played a DH, didn't play left field. Jesse Winker, Dominic Smith. Okay, now that one, I'll give a DH one is tough because you only have half, so you can't really do that.
So you know what they should do?
Yeah.
When you build your utility one, you need to put up a DH one. Especially if, I know we're talking about it later.
We'll get
this rule goes in.
Yeah.
Where there's a permanent DH universal.
Yeah,
you got to build a DH role, right?
You got to, because a lot of them, see, then you're going to get the question like you just asked me. That you're like, how many people have the Swiss Army had the Dodgers example? The Dodgers might not have one.
Yeah, you can't do it now because it's not opened up.
We'll talk about it later. But one guy who's strictly DH guy, right? Like the Dodgers, they'll switch around.
Yeah, Dodgers rotate. They don't have a DH.
But the Twins, only Nelson Cruz, right?
Yeah, only Nelson Cruz. You go, I was going to say Yankees, but they rotate it. David Ortiz. That's all I got. Yeah. Oh, okay. I know we have a lot, and I know we're on your utility question. going back to last week's Hall of Fame.
Yes. Oh yeah, because we
kind of wrapped up with the Hall of Fame. Nobody got in.
Nobody got in. Yes, for everyone who hasn't caught up yet.
Nobody got in. So nobody got in, right?
Yes.
And I'm fine. No problem.
Yeah, we're fine with that. We talked about.
I don't think there should be 19 ballots though that are empty.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, that came in. And the next thing I want to talk about, we talked about David Ortiz going into the Hall of Fame. You said yes, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, probably.
Yes.
After that, I went home and I was like, no, because why is it all these other PED guys are not in, and none of them have been on the list?
Yeah.
It's word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
David Ortiz and Alex Rodriguez and I think Palmeiro are some of the only guys that have been on that biogenesis list.
Yeah.
No David Ortiz until the other ones get in.
Hey,
I don't care how much everybody likes him.
Hey, dude. Hey, you got your opinion, and that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I was just thinking about. I'm like,
get in though, but yeah.
If they let him in, all hell should break loose, and everybody goes after the Hall of Fame because you can't let the guy that's on the list go in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if you're not gonna let the other PED guys who had Hall of Fame careers before PEDs, who knows David Ortiz? If we remember him with the Twins,
Yeah, he's just a hitter. No, sorry, he wasn't just a hitter. He was Nelson Cruz. Sure, right? Nelson Cruz is not a Hall of Famer.
Well, he was right.
Yeah.
So,
but Nelson Cruz is damn good. We all say he's very good.
Your Hall of Great.
Hall of Great.
That's all I wanted to say. That
hey, that's fine.
Now my stance on Big Papi has changed.
Okay, well, basically what we're saying is that the Hall of Fame has changed. The shredder should change. You answered my question. You do think there should be a
utility role needs to be in there. It's just gonna be tough because there's not a lot of utility guys.
Man, that's
I slowed down there because I started thinking like
it's a tough one. You're right.
Because
it's a tough one.
Padres have like Jerks and Profar.
Yeah.
And Cronenworth that kind of bounce around,
well, example,
right?
Like the guy who's going to my head, who I'm like, I just noticed he's not there. He's a second baseman, but technically last year he played center field was Whit Merrifield. He played.
Oh yeah, Whit who moved around.
He was a second baseman. Like, dude, that guy's a great second baseman. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, he's actually not on there because guess
he
what?
Played a lot
played
of
more
center
or whatever.
I'm trying to think of other second basemen that were eligible, and I can't think of any. I feel like the second base has kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it has. But we'll get to second basemen later on in the show because we will do more of a, MLB, their news, and we do have, obviously, other news about second basemen. So we'll get to there in a second, don't worry. But first we need to start with the NFL, really short, quick, nice and sweet. Of course,
Breaking
don't forget,
news.
The Super Bowl is this Sunday on CBS. Do not forget that. The Bucks are taking on the...
You're making sure to watch, right?
The Chiefs.
You're going to be working?
I'll probably be working, but I'll try to make an effort to catch it maybe a little bit when I can. 3:30, I'm assuming 3, 4,
it's something like that. I read somewhere that this could be the biggest game in each quarterback's career.
Good.
Because one, you look at Brady, it'll put him in an area that nobody's ever been, right?
Yeah, he can. Yeah,
and he passes Belichick and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And you look at Mahomes, they kind of said that this is his one chance to say that he can become the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
Because if you beat the best, and it's not like he's Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. Like, he's like part of the reason they're there.
Yeah.
You beat him, you're on the stepping stone. That's 2 Super Bowls.
Before
You'd
he
be
turns
4 away.
And it'll be 2 before he turns 26, and I believe when Brady got his second, he was 26. So that's what I saw that on ESPN. They're like, if he wins, he'll be younger than Brady when he won his second. I'm like, all right, let's slow the brakes down, but definitely a possibility. I'm not saying it's not. That guy's freaking crazy. And of course, because we are, LA boys, we do need to mention the Rams.
I feel like it's a pretty big move overall.
It is a big move. They do call it a blockbuster in general NFL news because it's just a big names being traded. Yeah. Big contracts being moved over.
Former number 1 picks being traded for each other.
I mean, really quick, it's called a blockbuster because of how much, not only are the players famous, they're big players, kind of, but big markets, one big market, a lot of money being switched around. When Dodgers traded with the Boston Red Sox, did we give them anything of really high blockbuster value? No, but we just took on a shit ton of money and Adrian Gonzalez. And
that one, yeah. That's a block.
It's a blockbuster.
Adrian Gonzalez's name was pretty big.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's one big name. It's not.
Josh Beckett was still pretty big.
Both teams don't need to be.
No. You don't need to be moving. No. That's still a blockbuster.
But this is still a blockbuster
50 people got traded at one time.
LA, huge money being moved, and of course that is the quarterbacks. No more Jared Goff. Bring in Matthew Stafford, former teammate of Clayton Kershaw in high school and during his kid days, which is kind of funny.
I read somewhere that So the LA Rams Twitter person, as soon as the trade happened, there wasn't like a trade has been made or thank you Goff or welcome Stafford, nothing, right? It was more like at Kershaw, do you know a guy named Matthew Stafford? And like I was reading the comments and people were losing it. Like this guy took you to a Super Bowl, gave you like 4 playoff appearances, 5 playoff
20,
appearances.
2017, 2018, and then this year 3.
Okay, so he gave you past 3 years playoff appearances, played with the broken thumb, yada yada. And this is what it kind of felt like it was disrespectful.
Really? Interesting.
But I was like, I see both ways.
Trust me, sucks, but it's a business at the end of the day.
It is. What do you think of the trade though? Like, we talked a little bit before, but
like I said,
is this meter mover?
I guess I would say slight meter mover. Again, not a football expert here, just a fan, just saying, oh, that's cool, whatever. What I see is a time where the Rams are saying basically they don't believe. Well, they just told you.
They just don't believe in him.
They don't think Jared Goff is their guy, or at least Sean McVay doesn't think that, right? He's like, oh, I can't. It was pretty obvious once he said, yeah, I'm gonna start. I know he had a broken thumb, but once he said I'm gonna start
Wolford.
John Wolford, you're like, who's John Wolford?
Well, it was first who is he, but I think it kind of showed like. Usually when you have your guy,
you stick by your guy.
You stick by him. He's playing, right? Like tomorrow, or this week, if Patrick Mahomes had a broken thumb, he's starting, right?
No, he's starting unless like his someone
unless the leg is gone or the hand is gone or something like that.
Physically,
Tom Brady during the season broken thumb plays. Drew Brees has a broken ribs and freaking fractured this and that. And
the problem was that the ending to the season, Goff was just actually was almost like losing games for him, pretty much.
Give or take, yes.
Give or take, right?
He wasn't winning you games.
He wasn't winning you games, and then of course it started becoming more of a liability than just someone who's available and reliable. Maybe he won't go above and beyond what you need, but at least he does his job. Now he's starting to not do his job, but also make some mistakes, and you're just like, I can't have that.
Yeah. My take on it was just that 2 first rounders and a second rounder, plus your quarterback, right?
Yep.
If you're offering those many picks, it should be a substantial upgrade.
Yeah.
To me, it's not a substantial upgrade.
I think a lot of people agree. I think that's kind of up in the air. You're like, you think it's an upgrade, but not substantial.
It's an upgrade to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
I've seen arm talent's better with Stafford. I've seen Stafford's lows are not as low as Jared Goff's lows.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you can look at it that way. But at the same point, I shouldn't have to debate who's better when I'm giving up this much.
That is true.
That's the issue.
That's a great point, yeah.
It should be like, we went out, we got the best guy available, yada, 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 right?
Yep.
Like, for sure, I see it, the guy on the street sees it, the person who hasn't watched football in 10 years but kind of hears the names.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade, right? But right now, to me, it's just not an upgrade, so...
I think the reason why they had to give up so much, sorry to interrupt you, was
it's the money.
Just the money, right?
It's the money. It's all money, but we'll have to see. This is going to be a deal where it'll probably take... Well, Stafford's got 2 years.
Yep.
Got to see what they do within the next 2 years. I'm curious if they don't do too well when McVay's on the hot seat.
For sure.
Because he got rid of Gurley.
Yep.
That wasn't his running back. Got rid of Goff, who wasn't his quarterback.
So far, the Gurley move, I think, has been...
Oh, no, it worked out perfectly.
It worked out.
But now there's nowhere for him to point the finger.
Exactly.
It's on him now, and he's got to make it work.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, positivity. I wasn't very too positive on their outlook this year. I thought they were going to be okay, and look, they made it to the playoffs and make it to the second divisional round, right? Yeah, just time will tell. Matthew Stafford, like you said, arm talent is better. I think I've heard he can move a little better, but I also do know he's more injury prone.
He is more injury prone.
He has had back problems as well, so that's interesting to say. A lot of people, every time they talk about him, they're like, "Oh, he's still only 32." I'm like, "Oh, 32 a little older," but if you think about it, 32 is relatively still. You're still got.
Yeah, he's got like 6 years in the NFL.
Exactly, which is pretty good.
You're gonna take up 2 of them unless you re-sign him, so we'll see.
But it definitely a win now kind of thing.
It's all win now. It's all win now.
Aaron Donald is 30.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's not
not getting any younger.
He's not getting any younger.
Then you and I talked about the first round picks, like from an organizational standpoint. You're not supposed to trade first rounders, right?
Of course.
First rounders are supposed to be your guy
That's
moving
gold.
forward, yada, yada, yada.
In football, it's gold.
Yeah. We talked about the Rams have done a great job of really diving into their scouting and going and get talented guys, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round that eventually complete the team overall. Cooper Kupp, I think, was third rounder,
maybe, I don't
second
remember. But
rounder.
yeah, I get what you're saying. More of a depth kind of thing.
Yes.
Like they're confident in how they're picking.
Yes. Kind of like the Lakers choosing at the end of the first round.
Very good. I was about to say the same thing. The Lakers the past couple of years have found some nice pieces in the second round.
Talon, right?
Talon, and if you think about already 6 years ago, Jordan Clarkson, a very nice pickup.
JC just made like $60 million.
Exactly. And that's a second round player. Not a lot of second round players make it in the NBA.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Speaking of the NBA, I had Miami extremely high.
I did.
I think you had Miami pretty like 4C, 5C, whatever it might be.
I don't think I had them high as you. Definitely not. But I don't think I'm assuming where we're going is.
Is this a real team or not? Was last year a
know.
fluke? Is it real? What's going on?
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I do know that obviously they've had some.
They have had a lot of COVID issues. Jimmy Butler's missed 10 games.
Yep. So that is the majority of the reason why they're struggling. I give it on that. Okay. Second, I think it's also experience. A lot of guys, like we saw Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo, 3 key members of the team, very young players. You played pretty much a full season. You had the whole thing of last year, go into a bubble, play super hard, go all the way into the playoffs, make a deep run. Next year, your bodies are different. You're tired.
That is a thing that I think a lot of people are discounting about them.
Mm-hmm.
These guys had... what was it, like 40 days?
40 days. I know they're youngsters, but at the same time, they don't have the experience of knowing, hey, I just did a playoff. I need to know how to recoup. It's not just
how to recover, right?
How to recover. Yeah, it's like it's not just I'm young, I'm good. Here we go. It'll help you do it, but you got to know how to do it. Slowly, surely. Mm-hmm. You've heard about it all the time when teams make deep runs in the playoffs who are new next year. They kind of takes them a little bit to get their feet back because it's just not used to it.
They're not used to it. They don't know how to recover. And not only that, you don't know how to build your body to last such a long run.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about what happens afterwards, but you got to talk about what goes into it before.
Yep.
Are you made to last 82 plus another, if you're talented enough, right? Another 20 games, 100 games throughout the season.
Yeah. And it was a totally different season, like we said. Last year was totally different. You did almost basically a damn full season, 65, 70 games, whatever it was. You take like a 2-month break. You come back, you play 7 games, and you do the whole playoff run. That's like a month and a half right there where you're playing super hard almost every day. Then you take a break, but then you have a shorter off season. You got to do it again. Everyone is,
Don't forget, being in Disney World, it's not like you have the same kind of treatments that you could, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to assume your recovery stuff is not as good because it's not an NBA facility.
Yep.
I'm sure they did their best to make it as similar to it.
Yep.
But I got to assume they just didn't have the exact things that you would need unless you're LeBron James. Because I'm pretty sure he brought his own.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
He doesn't have a cryo chamber in his friggin' hotel room.
Yeah.
I just went blank, but
that's
the
what
Nets.
That's what I give them. That's what. To finish on the Miami, to put a nice little bow around it, I think this next 15 game span very important. If they can kind of turn around, start playing a little
with Jimmy
better.
Butler back, if you can go 10-5,
yeah,
you're back in it.
Just regulate. Yeah, 10-5 will help them get back to 500. Stay at 500 ball. Do what you need to do. Get hot at the right time. They'll be fine.
I agree. And now that you have Jimmy Butler back, I gotta assume the fire will be lit under the team the way Jimmy is. But it goes to show, I told you so.
Yeah.
Don't pay the man. It was too much. That money is for people who can carry a team. Unless your name is Rudy Gobert and you score 11 points in a game.
Oh my gosh.
And make $200 million, and you have Shaq coming after you.
Yep, that's right.
The other team I want to talk about.
The Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
So, James Harden has already been there for 10 games.
Yep.
10 games.
Yeah, quick.
They have the best offense ever.
Yes, and those technically, that's what they're projecting.
Like, that's their net rating, right?
Yeah, that's what they're heading towards.
But you know what else they have?
Let me guess.
The worst defense ever.
You're lying. No, stop
it. The 3 guys who are known for defending, right? How far can the Nets get if they can't defend?
In the East, they'll make it, but I think eventually, actually, you know what? They'll probably make it. I give them for sure a round. They'll win, right? They'll make it to the next round.
Well, if they're a top team, they'll take on a bottom feeder.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Unless you hit Miami.
Excuse me. The conference finals, that's when you're going to have to really, really.
So this is.
Yeah.
I've been looking. I think there's about 3 teams that if they run into, they may not make it to the next round.
You think so? Okay.
So if the Nets run into Boston.
Nope.
Boston.
I think Boston's good.
Boston gets them, right? Boston is a little bit more defense orientated.
I think they're just more dogs, and they can score.
They can score the basketball, right? Minus Kemba Walker every now and then.
Yeah.
So that's one team. Next team, Giannis. I don't believe in them 100%, but I think if the Nets were to run into them, they would have some trouble.
I agree.
Giannis would score 100 points a game because there's nobody to defend him.
Yep.
Giannis is going to score 100. Middleton, because nobody can defend him, is going to probably get another 30. That's 130 points.
You're right. Well, they've been
and they're a decent team defensively. You have Drew Holiday, in my opinion, can lock up Kyrie.
Yep.
Giannis can take on KD probably pretty well. And Middleton to take on James. Yep. Those three are known defensively.
Yeah.
So your stars are covered up.
That's a good three defend, yeah.
All right, and then let's look at the other team I had. The 76ers. Now, I know nobody really believes in them.
Playing well, though.
They're playing really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Simmons can't shoot yet. Joel's on fire.
Yeah.
Do you think who would win in that one? Who do you have?
I think very close. I'm still man, that's a good question. If it's the 76ers though, I don't know. I still have a little bit of I don't trust them.
Well, they got Doc over there, so Doc blows 3-1 leads.
He's got to be 3-0. He's got no chance.
Well, he could beat 3-0 and still go 3-1.
No, that's my point. If he goes 3-0, there you go. The sweep's there. But as soon as he loses at 3-1, you're done.
It's over. You're out. Just call it a day.
Yeah. And I do apologize. 8 games since he's been there, so 8-8, exactly half the season for Houston and the Nets for James Harden.
Oh,
I know
okay.
I said 10,
8-8,
but 8 games, which is still, he's playing 39 minutes, so he's played the same amount that he has for Houston.
Hey, if let's just say they win, let's just say Nets go on win the title.
Got it.
James Harden plays there for what is it, like 3 years?
Yeah.
Do you retire his jersey?
No, I don't think.
Does James Harden have a chance to create a legacy in Brooklyn?
I say no. 3 years, he's gonna be 34, dude. In 3 years, he'll be 34. Houston for sure. I think they should retire his jersey, right?
Yeah.
If
I don't think he left good terms with the owner.
No, definitely not.
There's a reason why KG's number is not in Minnesota right now.
Oh, good point. Well, it just depends who the owner is when that time comes. Ooh, good point. That's kind of messed up, though.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He has one place to build a legacy now. If, let's just say, worst comes to worst, he has one place, and he has to build it with Brooklyn. Is it possible?
Yeah, true.
It's going to be very difficult. But I think that's about what we have for the NBA. Not too much going on. Lakers are still going, beating the Celtics.
Yep.
LeBron tried to blow it, but he didn't. It's okay.
Mentioned that.
AD is here to save the day, and everybody else.
Doing their
They're
jobs.
actually going on right now against the Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks. You know the score?
I'm going to guess a lot to a little.
Actually incorrect. The Lakers are currently losing. They are down by 6 with a minute remaining in the third quarter.
AD will save the day.
AD will save the day.
But he's kind of been sucking it up, huh?
Hold up really quick. AD, I don't know about AD. He's got to get on those rebounds, dog. 22 points and 1 rebound today. Not good.
Sounds about right.
Grab those rebounds.
You know what? They got a lot of centers. Clint Capella.
I know.
John Collins is a good rebounder. They have another one. DeAndre Hunter, I think, is a good rebounder. They got some guys that can rebound over there. The real breaking news this weekend.
Yes.
We got to get to it. I don't want to say superstar. He's not a superstar to me.
He's the best catcher.
Star catcher.
Yep.
JT. Do you know what the JT stands for?
Jonathan Thomas.
Jonathan Thomas.
No, I'm joking, buddy. I don't know. JT, did I get you?
Making me look bad.
Sorry, guys.
JT Realmuto goes ahead and he's going to re-sign with the Philadelphia Phillies. $115 million over 5 years. This is coming from a club that was struggling supposedly during the COVID time with money, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make the splash. Most ever by it for a catcher, if I'm not mistaken.
Jacob Tyler.
Okay, Jacob Tyler. I believe this is one of the most ever for a catcher.
For a catcher, yeah.
Maybe Piazza has it, but even then, I don't think so.
Yeah, especially now, yeah. The biggest one that we've seen in the last couple of years was Grandal, right?
Then he was like 60 or 80 million, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go off and they sign Didi. 2 years,
28
million. My boy gets paid.
I like Didi.
I'm a big guy of Didi. With these moves, the Phillies are just bringing back guys.
Yep.
Are they in contention for the AL East? NL East. I'm sorry.
I still don't think so. I think they could definitely perform better than they did. The bullpen can't be any worse. They
upgraded.
That's also to also mention that one. Archie Bradley.
Archie Bradley is one of them. They brought in Alvarado. from Tampa Bay.
They traded him. Hopefully, he can regain his form where he was nasty in the postseason a couple of years back. Like I said, if they perform a lot better than they did last year and the year before, where they kind of just had a collapse, should be better. I think they'll be better. Don't know if they're going to contend. I still think Atlanta. I still think the Nationals are not that bad. I think the Nationals can do something. And we got to give. Hey, Miami made it to the playoffs, so we got to give them a.
All right, let's call Miami what they are.
Yeah, they're okay.
They got lucky.
You think they got lucky?
60 games, the right guys got hot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose 100 games, but I'm not gonna say they're gonna win 90 games.
Okay, you're right. I don't
or
think that
80
either, but I
or
do think,
85 games.
I do think they're going to cause a lot of trouble for all the teams. Like they're just going to take some. Oh, the Mets, of course. I think the Mets and the Braves are the standard. Those are the two. Then followed by the Phillies. Then oh damn, and the Nationals. Damn, I just said that.
Nationals just made some upgrades.
Shoot, that's a tough division, man.
That's a tough one. That's a good division now.
Whoever ends up last, let's just say take out Miami because we assume they're gonna. But there's
Miami could be last and still win like 70 games.
Yeah,
which is not bad considering you played 162.
Yeah, they could. They could be like 75, right? 75 wins, and they're taking wins away from everyone else. That's just taking.
So hypothetically speaking, at the end of the year, the NL East should not look dominant, right?
Yeah,
there shouldn't be like a 100-winner game or a 100-win team.
Yeah, that's just
the AL East.
I don't think so. Only because usually that happens when you have a couple of teams that are just like,
not that great, right?
Like when the Dodgers won 100, you had. I think that year was the Giants were just playing bad, awful, and then the Rockies were not, or the Padres were not.
The Padres weren't there yet. Should be interesting.
Yeah.
Now this tells me something else.
What?
The Angels don't care about their team. God damn it. I told them to go out, sign Didi, make the splash move that they needed to make.
Yep.
Now their only hope is to get Bauer.
I mean, they traded for Alex Cobb today.
And they traded for... That's an interesting one.
If that helps.
Why do you have 6 starting pitchers on your roster now? Or not roster, but 6 starting guys that could potentially pitch. Are you done trying to get big aces like Trevor Bauer and have 8 pitchers? Or what do you think is going on?
For their sake, I hope not. I just think that finally the Angels are realizing you can never have enough pitching. Just get pitching. Hopefully someone sticks, and then hopefully you get one big one.
Well, somebody's going to have to be in the bullpen.
Yeah, man. I have a feeling that they're going to have to be mixing and matching a lot right now. If they don't get Bauer, they're going to be a lot of mixing and matching.
It's funny. You and I usually don't, like, outside.
Yeah.
You and I don't talk Angels.
Yeah.
But everything always leads back to them being crappy.
No,
it really bothers
it's
me.
unfortunate. Hey, at least they got their third baseman was, what do you call it?
Well, at least he's not in Hollywood.
No, Anthony Rendon was first on the shredder. If you take
I saw that. I don't know. I kind of lost a little bit for him.
If you take anything for that. All right, but let's move on from that one. I also mentioned that obviously the Angels acquired what's his name, Alex Cobb, who I feel like he's been pitching in the big leagues for like a long time now.
He's been out there for a while. He was acquired from the Orioles, right?
Or the Orioles, yeah. Unfortunately, Jocktober
There will no longer be Jocktober here in LA.
Not in LA.
I don't think there'll be a Jocktober next year.
You don't think they're going to the playoffs?
No.
Well, I love Jock. But he is now gone. He is a 1 year, $7 million richer man. He's 1 year older, but also $7 million richer. Cubbies. Do you like that move for him?
For those of you that know me, you guys know I'm a Jock guy.
Yes, he's been a Jock guy for a long time.
I believe he won Dodgers Minor League Player of the Year.
Yep,
I was at the game.
2014 probably.
And they gave him the award. They gave him the award at Dodger Stadium, right? I'm like, I got to watch that guy.
Yep.
So I started following him. He comes up like a year later, whatever it might be. So to see him go, it hurts.
Yeah.
It truly hurts. But at the same time, I'm happy for him because he's going to go ahead and get 600 at-bats this season.
He definitely is.
He's going to go ahead and hit the lefties, which I think he's more than capable of doing. Who's to say he can't when he's only had like 150 at-bats, right?
Great point.
It's a good move overall for him. He's going to get the play time. If he has a hell of a year, he's going to cash in at age 29.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope.
If he has a bad year, which I hope he doesn't, you're 29 years old. Somebody's going to pick you up.
Yeah,
you're fine. You'll make your money.
And he's
again.
had some history of, obviously the playoffs has helped him a lot. The guys,
guy just
they know this guy can perform
destroys
in
the playoffs.
in October. They know that he's a champion. He's a World Series champion. They know that he's been through some adversity. Kind of having a starting job, then not losing your starting job, then playing on the bench, and kind of playing. So he's gone through a lot of stuff in his career, but a lot of milestones for him. He's got a lot of pop in that bat.
Got a ton of pop.
Got a lot of personality on the field. Maybe not.
No,
off
he
the
has a
field when
little
he talks
swagger.
when he does interviews, but
he's awful
on
at
the
interviews.
field, he's great. It looks like he's really loving what he does. He brings out the best. I feel like he's been a great teammate. I used to tease you all the time saying, Jock, he's just gonna strike out, but he would strike out. But hey, he hit a lot of home runs, and God damn, if that 2017 would have been ours, guaranteed.
He was gonna be a World Series MVP.
I'm gonna miss him talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him, man. I'm
after
gonna
home
really
runs
miss him.
and going.
You and I were kind of talking for the people who are like, why are we letting everybody go?
Yep.
There's depth coming, easy,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time,
Just how it
had
is.
AJ Pollock not been on the roster at this
Yeah.
point, I think Jock stays, right? And he
So
probably
he-
gets everyday playtime in left field, but because you have a guy who hits
Definitely had a
lefties
shot.
pretty well, and AJ Pollock, and you had Jock, the platoon worked, he comes back. There is no starting role. You're platooning.
Yeah, the problem with that is I think I agree. I see what you're saying, but I still think it would have been the same because it's been since 2015 since he had a full-time job. They haven't
He's only had a full-time job
that 2015.
half a season.
Yeah, because he did the full season. He got really cold, and they were like, I'm not sure if this
And then
guy's
Kike freaking broke out, right? And then they
Exactly.
started platooning the two of them.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying. That's why I feel like even if let's say they didn't sign AJ, I don't think they ever would have given him the full shot against lefties. I still think they found a way to try to put maybe Chris Taylor in there more, or whoever. But regardless of what we're saying,
I just thought that they would have a chance because if you look in the playoffs, when every at-bat matters, right?
Yeah,
You let him hit lefties.
that's true. I'm a little better, but I still think he would. I was not going to be happy if he stayed a full season again because we would have done the same to him.
It would have been the same. That's why I know. That's
Yeah.
why it makes sense for him to go. I was just saying, had we not had AJ,
Better chance.
then
for
he
sure.
has a
Definitely
higher
a better
chance.
But overall, we are happy for him. Sad to see him leave. Much success to him with the Cubs. But now we're going to move on to another player in the NL West who is no longer in the NL West.
NL Central.
He's in the NL Central. He is from here. He's a local boy. He's a Dodger fan. He's been open about that. A lot of Dodger fans and Dodger faithful were like, man, if there's any way we can get our hands on this guy, it'll be awesome. But it's not meant to be. And
I don't think they're ever going to trade within the division.
Hell no.
Why trade face
trade?
this guy
Exactly.
freaking 20 times a year?
I think a lot of people also were like, how did we not even try? I'm like, guys, we probably did try. They just said, they saw the Dodgers ringing. They're like, nope.
We probably call, okay, so Nolan Arenado, by the
Yeah.
way, going to the Cardinals.
Yes, thank you.
My assumption is Dodgers called. They looked at the phone, saw Andrew, click, and kept moving on with their
I
day.
feel like they said, hey, they went, click, yes. Here you're going to trade. That was my phone, by the way, pretending to do it. I hear you're trying to trade Nolan Arenado. Yes, if you give us Dustin May, Gavin Lux, Walker Buehler, throw in Clayton Kershaw, even though he has got 1 year left on his deal, Corey Seager, and Justin Turner. And Justin Turner, if he resigns, we'll give you Nolan. They're like, wait, can we talk about? Okay, no, okay, bye. Basically,
Bye. Right there, right then and there.
Give me everything or else nothing.
Or nothing, right?
They're just like,
And I'm
wait, we
pretty
can't
sure
even- yeah.
that is what happened. Nolan Arenado, though, moving to the NL Central, going to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Interesting.
I got to take a look. I'm going to look back at some old footage or episodes.
Yeah.
I think we might have mentioned the Cardinals, being
was a
a
name.
ghost, not ghost runner, but a ghost,
like a ghost.
a mystery team.
You're right. Yeah.
He kind of not looks like it, but to me, his personality kind of fits that Cardinals mold.
Yeah, he does. As much as I hate to say that, as I'm looking at your very nice.
The
Cardinals,
Jim Edmonds,
the Jim Edmonds signed
helmet.
helmet. Of course, this is a sports show, so I understand why we have that. Am I happy that we have that up? Not that much, because we know the Cardinals are.
However, Jim Edmonds is a product of Diamond Bar High School.
He is a part, which I'm actually wearing my baseball jacket today, which is funny that we. Oh wow, that kind of went in a full circle.
It did.
I didn't even think about that.
That's part of the reason why he's up, buddy.
Well, Jim Edmonds is cool, but not the Cardinals. Fuck them. That was good.
They didn't have an Angels available.
Yeah, the old Angels one.
I would have accepted an old Angels one better.
Or a Cubs one. Remember when he put the Cubs for like 1 year?
No.
2
Wait,
years.
that would be pointless.
But anyways, moving on from that. Yeah, they're going to be a lot better, though. You think they're the favorites in the NL Central? No. You still thinking...
to me, there is no favorite. You're looking at me like, who's the favorite?
yeah,
Damn it.
I still
But
think they're the favorite.
to me, there is no true
True
favorite in the NL Central.
Interesting.
Milwaukee Brewers, just a little tilt of your head.
Yep.
Decent team. Usually lacks pitching. They got Devin Williams, who's a stud, but there's something missing, right? They don't have it. They don't have. I think it's starting pitching. They don't have starting pitching like they need to.
Yeah, the 2018 team was a really good bullpen. Obviously, Christian Yelich was out of his mind. I feel like they played
hot.
a nice good year. They got hot for a year.
Yeah.
I think the rest of them are not. They're gonna be they'll be okay. They'll battle it out like they did the year before, where they kind of crumbled at the end, but they still battling every day. I think that's how they're gonna be.
To me, they're an 80-80 team.
Yeah, probably
80-80 team, right? Or 81-81 team. Cubs. They have some people.
Yeah, but
they're trying to trade all of them.
Yep.
My assumption is morale's low.
Uh-huh.
They obviously haven't played well together since 2016.
Yep.
81-81 team, right?
Yep.
To me. I look over, you have, who else who's in there? Cardinals, right? You're the Cardinals. Decent starting pitching. You have Flaherty. You just picked up Nolan. You have Paul DeJong.
Yep.
Tommy Edman. Bader, O'Neill.
Yeah.
Dexter Fowler.
Yeah.
Paul Goldschmidt. You got an old Yachty.
Decent bullpen.
Don't have a solid closer. But you notice I only said one starting pitcher?
Yeah, Flaherty, right? Nicholas is okay.
Yeah, Michael is.
Dakota
or whatever.
Hudson. Okay. Young. Yeah.
Adam Wainwright.
Korean guy. His name?
I know who you're talking about. I think he's in the bullpen more.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like they're a better overall team. That's why I give them the
Central.
go for Central. That's what I'm saying.
Who am I missing?
The Pirates are not going to do anything.
Oh, and the Pirates. Pirates are a 60-win team next year.
Maybe even that. Maybe 50, dude.
That's why, to me, there is no true favorite. It's going to be last team to get hot.
That's okay.
As in, like, last team.
Interesting.
At the end of the year, August, those months, whoever gets hot first at that time is going to win the division.
I'll stick with the Cardinals. I think they're going
to I'm sorry.
You know, you're good.
I think they're all going to be around 500 ball until August. So it's going to be tight. Maybe somebody gets a big lead. However, I'm not worried about the big lead. I think it'll shrink down. There's just no.
Yeah.
You can look at any other division and be like, that's the team. That's the team.
Fair.
That's the team.
You think it's a little more cloud? They're definitely the weakest of the NL.
Oh yeah, they have to be, right. Like, to me, I was gonna say the Rockies at least have Arenado and Story. They got Trevor Story.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which
who's a star, right?
If I was him, like,
quote unquote star.
Dude, just trade me so I can get a chance to win and I can get paid after.
Yeah. Then you have the Giants, mediocre team. They'll just fight.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a fighting team. Padres, good. Dodgers, good. Go over to the East. Braves,
we just talked about how good they're gonna be. So
yeah, exactly. So you look at it. That's the open market right there. There's probably be the most teams from there in the playoffs, though.
For sure, definitely.
Just because they're all gonna be next to each other and running around with a wild card.
Well, I'm extremely. You talked about the playoffs because we gotta go to our next thing. Did you think about that, or you just natural?
Phenomenal. You know, Matty, when you've been in the business as long as I have, you just got a knack for it.
Of course, like he just said, the playoffs. There is a proposed season for the next upcoming, obviously, for the MLB season. It's a delayed season, so it will start a little bit later. I believe it will start in the middle of April, but then the date it will be about 154 games instead of that 162. So that's 8 games.
8 games.
8 games, but I know you're like, wait, mid-April, that's a week, but I think they're going to push it and everything's
My assumption is spring training shorter.
Exactly.
So you start sooner. At the end of the day, 8 games is not a big deal.
It's not at all.
But like you were going to say, a lot of things come in with these. Like, we'll give you this, or give us this, and we'll give you all of these things, right?
I also forgot to mention, 154 days, but with the full 162-day pay. I know it's only 8 days off, but hey, man, if you're going to pay
the pay is a big thing.
Pay me my regular. They're going to pay them as if they're doing a regular season. They still want to do expanded playoffs, and they also want to do the universal DH once again. Of course, it needs to be reviewed by the Players Association before anything happens.
I'm not sure if there's one or two things missing in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Like extra stuff?
Yeah, they want pitch, like the strike zone.
Uh-huh.
They want a computer strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted some kind of timer or some crap.
Yeah.
That's why it got rejected, though. There's other things that went into it. They're like, hey, no. Also, I don't think the players want expanded playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption is you have one big pot. If I allow 4 other teams to get in, my pot's getting smaller, right?
Yep.
Not only that, you want the playoffs to mean something. If you do that, there's not as much trading.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, if you do it, though, hypothetically speaking, teams should be more inclined to go out, pay, and get their guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a chance to make the playoffs. That'd be the only thing to me. I'm okay with the universal DH now.
You're good with it.
Have you gotten to that point?
I'm fine with it too. I'm fine with it.
I think last year showed it's kind of... It has its ups and downs, right?
It's up and down like anything could. I would just, from anything, if they're taking from last year, I have not read it. Don't know if they're going to add it. The only thing I would say is taking that. I'm cool with all that. Expanded playoffs, if they do it, not the biggest
I didn't
fan.
like it as much
Yeah.
because I don't feel that the number one team in the league that won...
Yep.
Well, last year, like, Dodgers won, like, 50 games, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever crap it was, 40-something games.
Yeah.
Why should their season be dependent on one game,
Pretty much.
right?
Exactly. I agree. That's why the expanded playoffs for me, I was like, and I don't want the play on second base after 11th inning. I don't want that.
You didn't like that?
Not a big fan, to be honest. It almost turned for like 3 innings. It was the same crap. Everyone was trying to hit home runs. No one would bunt. I'm like, what the hell's the point, anyways?
Okay, so that's part of the issue.
Yeah.
That was teams saying we don't need that, right? I think it depended on which side you were on.
Uh-huh.
You're the home team. The thought was you'd be okay with bunting,
Yeah.
try to get them in, right? But if you're the home team, you got to score as many runs as possible, and that's why they didn't.
Yeah.
At least that's what I heard, read, everything that associates with that. However, I am okay with it, or at least I was last season.
Mhm.
You had 60 games. There was no need to have a 20-inning game, which doesn't occur. Okay, let's say a 13-inning
Uh-huh.
game. The extra 4 innings, which is about, hour or two of play.
Uh-huh.
Come back tomorrow and try to do it again when you don't have games to give up.
Mm-hmm.
If I have 162 games, my assumption is there's 5 games I can pencil in.
Mm-hmm.
Starters don't play here, starters don't play there,
Yeah.
starters don't play there. And I can always move it around throughout the season. I played a long game tonight. I got to make sure these guys get some rest. They're on the field all damn night. Pull them off.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. But if you do it in a shortened season, it's harder.
Uh-huh.
So I'm up in the air. If it happens, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen, okay, cool.
Got it.
That's just my part on it.
Interesting.
I see your look. You're like, no, screw the guy on second. Screw him.
So it's
Screw
not
him.
my
Screw
favorite.
him.
I'm not going to go crazy saying it's the worst atrocity ever to happen in baseball, but
Atrocity?
yeah, if I use that word. It's not. I'm telling you it's not.
Oh, my God. But the fact that you're even thinking about it.
No, come on. I just wanted to add that to know that I'm not that crazy.
Clickbait.
But anyways, hopefully they find out something soon because the season.
Well,
we're only 2 weeks.
So you kind of mentioned, I see something here.
If-
There's an old dude that wants to play for the Dodgers, right? That he has him like penciled number 1. If there is a DH.
If there's a DH, yeah.
We are in February. Spring training is in March as of now.
Yep.
Into March, right?
No, beginning of March.
No, beginning of March. The
Yeah.
pitchers are supposed to report in 3 weeks.
Yep.
They have to be there. I have to have my roster set, and I don't know if there's going to be a DH.
Yep. That's why they're like, hurry.
Who in the hell is doing this?
I know. Well, at this point, it's the players, so they're trying to review.
Whoever it
everything.
was, there should have been a deadline, though.
Yeah.
January 15th or the end of January.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be. Yeah, 15th,
Yeah.
31st, whatever it might be. We come to an agreement
Yeah.
or not. If we don't, play on like usual. If we do, okay, we have clarity.
Yeah.
But
true.
after this, the MLBPA should have been like, bloop, you're cut. You had your chance. Teams are what they are.
Yeah, I don't know if it works like that. I feel like there might be.
I'm
more to-
assuming it doesn't, but
yeah,
in my head,
I agree.
this is what I'm doing.
This is how it's gonna go down.
It's going down like this, and everybody's going to love it.
But if they do have a universal DH, the guy I'm talking about, the old guy, is Nelson Cruz. Would you like to have Nelson Cruz on your team for your DH?
You and I have talked about this. I think I would.
Yeah.
I
Headed bat right there.
Yeah, he goes straight into the 4 slot, right? The thing is, you bring him in, you say bye to Justin Turner.
Because of the money.
Money, where are you going to...
Yeah, but
What do you play?
But now the production that you're getting from Nelson Cruz offensively is
To me, it's like the same or better, right?
same or better, right? Now you just need to find an adequate third baseman who can play good
But
at
you
least
have
decent
one.
defense. Exactly.
Edwin Rios.
Yeah. There
Well,
you go.
you're going to say somebody else.
No. I was agreeing with you.
Edwin
I think
Rios?
you have some. Well,
But
as far as
remember, you bring in a guy like that, there is no playing around with your DH.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
That's the only thing that doesn't work with the Dodgers, who have 20 starters on their team.
Or you go the other route, which we did talk about him a little bit as well, is Marcell Ozuna. Now you have a DH, but he can also play left if you need.
I mean, he can play left every like 5 days.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it won't kill you as much.
It won't kill you as much.
The issue is you put Cruz in left field, and this dude might pull a hammy and miss the whole season.
Exactly. You don't want that. I agree with that. Nelson Cruz is more of a one. Hey, that's a DH.
He's a one-trick pony now.
That's a DH. That's it. Marcell Ozuna, you can, even though he's not as good, he can play the outfield. Left field, obviously.
It'll be awful, but he can manage.
He can manage, man.
He can manage for 1 game, 2 games out of the week.
Just say, hey, you give him a couple of days off, half a game. Can you play half a game in the outfield, and then we'll put you on or whatever. You take the day off, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Possibility.
It's a possibility. Not my favorite one because I like the flexibility.
I agree with you. I like the flexibility. But 2 names that now, if you do have a universal DH, you're like,
Well, now you have Justin Turner, Nelson Cruz. You have Marcell Ozuna, right?
Those are 3 names now, and they're all offensively
great names.
Really good.
They're great names. The only thing is, I wouldn't. You sign those guys, you can't sign them to multi-year contracts.
Well, that's the thing. I was about to say that. Turner, we're concerned because, he's older. You don't want to sign him too long. Nelson Cruz, definitely cannot give him a multi-year contract. It'll be like a 1 year. Like, we'll pay you 1 year, nice little chunk of change, maybe 20, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Marcell Ozuna is the one.
That's the one that would get them offer, right?
You could go more, but then that's the thing. He'd be harder to get because, like I said, he is a little more flexible. He's younger. He produces, but he's going to want more years. And you're probably like, maybe not.
Let's say they said DH forever.
Yep.
I'm okay with giving him years now.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't have DH forever, or I don't know.
Nope. I would do the only one. Let's just say
I can't do it, and he's not going to play for another 1 year contract.
If they do the universal DH for this year only, I think Marcel's out of the question. I think now you only focus on Nelson and then because Nelson's only 1 year, you're only going to sign for it.
That's fine. You can focus on JT. The thing is, I think they're already offering JT 2 years, and he doesn't want it.
That's what I'm talking.
I'm not giving you an extra year because it's a universal DH for 1 year.
Exactly. Well, that's my point, though. Nelson Cruz now becomes a little bit more okay. I know our flexibility is going to go a little down, but it's a guy who produces every time. He just needs a hit, and it's only 1 year. You're not going to linger. You're not going to lock him up for anything else.
It'll be
interesting.
An interesting move. It'll be a tougher move. We just got to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
You and I played a game not too long ago. Guess that player.
That player, yeah.
For cover athlete. Guess that cover athlete.
We have one.
And we have one now. I think we guessed this guy.
You said, I think for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's this guy. I think you said most likely Tatis, which everyone.
It's Fernando Tatis.
Fernando Tatis. I think you said, would it be cool? I think it was you. Dodger one. Just
it would be cool if they would have done championship Dodgers.
And I said if they chose one, it'll probably just be Mookie by himself. But it ended up being Fernando Tatis.
It's going to be Fernando Tatis for breaking all the unwritten rules.
And it looks cool.
It keeps going. I really like the cover. I think it's pretty cool.
Very urban, new style.
Yes.
A little bit of flair.
Yeah. But I think that's good for him. Good for San Diego. Get the name going.
Yep.
Slam Diego will keep going.
Are you automatically in on MLB 21 because it's the first year the Dodgers won, so you feel like there's gonna be a little.
I didn't even think about that. Or
are you gonna wait and see?
No, usually.
Most likely, yeah.
Baseball I'll probably get.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten like a FIFA game in a while. I haven't gotten an NFL.
Yeah.
I think baseball I like to continue.
I feel like especially because they won.
Because they won is a little different, and then the thing with them is. I like all the prospects that get brought up.
Yeah, it's cool to see. And then it's a lot better now, the newer generation. It's not like the old school PS2 where you would buy the game and then you can't do anything else.
You can't update or anything.
You'd have to be like, freaking, I got to get the new one. This one, you can kind of update. So if you do a little older version, I guess, you can do it.
Are you getting it? Will you get it?
I'm very intrigued. I usually try to see how it looks. Well, almost all the time, I know. MLB The Show. They get the same rating. They're like basically. It's
the same game every year.
It's the same damn game. It's just.
Like every now and then they update it.
You just have the rosters. You don't have to do the example, me and my dad used to do. We would spend hours
updating the rosters.
You go, where did the guy go? That guy went there. That guy went just to do it. But now you don't have to do that anymore.
No, you don't have to do it. It does it for you.
So now it's a little bit more.
You get Diamond Dynasty. The thing is, I think they need to change up the road to the show. They need to do something different.
Yeah, road to the show needs to have a little bit better interact or something. Yeah, because it's a little too. It's just I don't know.
Same thing over and over again, right? I would say they need to update the franchise mode.
Yeah, you like that? I haven't tried.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't, but I like the franchise modes. Yeah. I think they need to do an update of that. I think if you upgrade those two things, you'll get it going. The Diamond Dynasty is Diamond Dynasty. It's like, I don't think...
Question.
What can you really change other than game modes?
Yeah, you're right. Add game modes.
You know what I'd like to see? Did you ever play MLB Slugfest?
Dude, a while back.
Okay, I would like a version of that, within the game.
I like that one. I do want to start wrapping it up. But before we get to the last news, and I think it's a good one to end on baseball news. Damn it! I literally just forgot what I was gonna say.
What? You have like a big smirk on your face.
Yeah, I did because I was happy to tell you, and I forgot. It was about the baseball.
Baseball.
Mother effer.
Okay, well, while you're thinking about that, guys, Boston Red Sox,
Yeah,
great.
Boston Red Sox,
3-time champion, MVP, small man, big heart.
Best friend of Gabriel Maya.
Yeah, Dustin Pedroia decides to call it a career. He was a great player. I love the energy he played with. And I kind of mentioned it a couple weeks ago, right? Him and Jeff Fry kind of remind me of the same thing. Little guys that do big things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this story, but there's a story I want to share.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and play it for you, okay?
You play? Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and play it. You keep thinking.
I got it already, so I'm just going to repeat it in my mind.
Okay.
So I don't lose it.
Well, here it is.
So I'd already played with David for, 9 years. And I hit right in front of him for 9 years. And I was kind of struggling at the plate. And we go on deck, and we're playing the Indians at home. And the umpire went to go pee, so the catcher blocked a ball, and he didn't have a ball, and a ball kind of rolled over. The catcher comes over to me and goes, "Hey, what's up, Dustin?" I go, "Hey, what's up, man?" David walks over and goes, "What did he call you?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "What did he call you?" I said, "Dustin." He goes, "Why did he call you that?" I go, "That's my name." He goes, "Oh, is that right?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. I played 1,600 games with you. They've actually said it 5,000 times. Now batting, number 15, Dustin Pedroia." And he goes, "I thought it was Pee-wee." So now the umpire, this is dead serious. So now the umpire comes back, and I go, I'm standing there. I've got a hit in a week. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, "You thought my parents would name me Pee-wee?" And he's just looking at me. And we're having a conversation. The umpire's yelling at me. The catcher's laughing because he could hear kind of what he's saying, which is, I don't know. That's my favorite.
Dude, great story, right?
God. That's hilarious.
I had heard it before. I had heard it on the radio, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was dying.
That's
and
hilarious.
As much as he's done, that's my new favorite Dustin Pedroia moment.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I thought your name was Pee-wee. What the F he call you? freaking Poppy.
Did you remember your thing?
Yeah, I do remember the thing. Don't worry, I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
I'll do that one at the end.
Got it.
When we really finish.
Got it.
Continue on Justin Pedroia. Really cool. Seeing him. He was interviewing and he said that he wish he can kind of appreciate him more because he was always solely on winning. Such an intense guy, if you remember. One of the cover athletes on MLB, the show that we talked about. Definitely a inspiration for many players who are, let's just say,
small stature.
Very small, right? He is 5'7".
Let's just say very small.
Yeah, 5'7", right?
You could have just said small stature. You didn't have to be like
Why?
very small.
It's very small. Hey, I can say that because I'm his height, so I'm very small. Or he's 5'8". No, 5'7".
I'm pretty sure he's taller than that. I think he's like 5'10", dude.
No, they said no 5'7".
I'm pretty sure he's like 5'10".
No, dude, I'm telling you. But anyways, he's a smaller guy. Very intense. Obviously, did you guys know that he used to play with Andre Ethier at Arizona? Good friends. He is from Cali. Andre Ethier's from. There's a cool story I wish I could find too. It's where they're in the Boston radio and Andre actually calls in and pretends to be a fan. He kind of tells it and does. He's kind of like that moment where like I know you.
Oh, did he pick up the voice right away?
At first he's like, "What the? Who is? I know who this is." Kind of like the Shaq thing.
Oh, like
Shaq called.
He's like, "This is Tex Winter."
This is Tex Winter.
Who the hell are you?
This is Shaq. All right. So, but great career for him. 3-time champion, 2-time playing.
Hall of Fame or Hall of Great?
Hall of Great.
I think the injuries at the end ruined it, but he kind of had one of those stories that could have got him into
very
it.
familiar to like a David Wright style, like David Wright.
Yeah, David Wright was set for the Hall of Fame until the injuries.
Good. Well, we are wrapping it up. It was a good one to put it. I do remember that
what was
story.
Your point?
And MLB The Show, the new version. This is not a joke, okay? I know it's more of a soft topic. I'm sorry, but it's a little jokey. Do you think when you're playing MLB The Show 21 and you go like player modes or play modes, whatever it's called, game modes? Thank you. Exhibition.
Okay.
Should there be one called bubble mode, where you just do like the COVID bubble, and you just
Guys, thanks for listening to Going Deep with Matthew and Jeremy. We had a great time here. Episode number 53, guys.
It's gonna be called game. What are you playing? You know, the little PlayStation 4. Well, it's gonna be 5 now. Update, like Matthew's playing, right? It's like
Bubble mode?
Yeah, bubble mode.
Oh my god. Guys, make sure you guys go out, get your habits gear, get your mother hamps, raise, all that good stuff. Use promo code Going Deep with Matthew and Jeremy. And as always, everybody,
Hey guys.
much love.